What's up, y'all? Alright, I'm going to attempt to show y'all how I install Stable Diffusion and how I got it to work. First off, you gotta go to Olivio's video. This guy is the bomb, made it incredibly easy. One of the things that he didn't really do for me was a lot of the troubleshooting and stuff like that. He has a link here to go to his troubleshooting page. I didn't do it. I fucked up 4 or 5 times trying to install it, and then I kind of went from there. So the first thing you want to do is you want to download Python. You need to make sure that you get the Python 3.10.6. I'll leave a link to this in the description if I could possibly speak. I am so incredibly rusty at doing videos. You want to make sure you hit add path. That's a must. You have to do that. Then install. If you don't download 3.10.6, then you will run into errors. If you mess up and you don't download the proper one and you do run into errors, you have to completely uninstall Stable Diffusion off your computer, which is basically just deleting the files and then basically trying again. There was many times where I tried to dig in and find out what exactly was the issue, and I tried deleting a bunch of folders and files and stuff. It's a huge pain in the ass. The best way to do it by far is to just delete the entire folder and start over. Second, you're going to download Git for Windows. See the description. There's a link. You don't need to change anything. Just install it. Not a big deal. Then you need to go to the Automatic 1111 GitHub. Scroll down. You'll see all the installation spots and everything else. You're going to grab this git clone right here. You don't want the period there at the end. You just want this main part here. Don't do the little period. Now, on your computer, it doesn't matter where you put this. You can put this anywhere. If you have multiple drives, you can put it on a different drive. Typically, it's going to take between, 25 gigs to 100 gigs. So if you have a smaller hard drive, you might not want to put it on your main hard drive. I've done it on multiple drives. It's fine. The problem that I do believe I had is when I put it in my users folder. Users, this is my mom's computer we're installing this on. When I put it on there, I found that I had issues with privileges, like administration mode and stuff like that. Don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. We're just going to have to wing it. You're going to click up in here. You're going to type CMD wherever you want the folder. This is in the users folder in Patty. I'm just going to put it in here. I'm going to type CMD. I'm going to hit enter, and this is going to bring up the command prompt in that folder. So if you do it on your G drive in a folder called Stable Diffusion, it will pop up and say G drive Stable Diffusion, and then here you're going to paste that code minus the period at the end. Like I said, you want the entire code, not the period at the end. Hit enter. All that did was just download the files onto the computer. From here, you can just close that out. And then now Stable Diffusion Web UI is on the computer. Double click on it. So now you have Stable Diffusion on your computer. It's that simple. What you don't have is models. You have to have a model in order to run Stable Diffusion. Also, the Web UI down here at the bottom, you're going to want to right click on it. Well, you don't have to do this. I'm not used to Windows 11 either, so this is gonna be fun. Properties? Nah. Where's more options? See more options. Edit. So in here, this is gonna fill in automatically for you. One thing, if you're gonna want to run Stable Diffusion 2.0, 2.1, which I highly recommend, you are gonna want to type something in here. I think it's no hold. Let me look real quick. So it's no half. You're going to want to type in here dash no half, just like that. And then right under here, so in order to update Stable Diffusion, it's not always the best thing to do. Sometimes you want to do this manually. You'll have to do that on your own. I do git pull. And what this does, it automatically updates my software for me every time I launch Stable Diffusion. Now, that's not optimal because, you could run into a lot of issues. If it updates to something new, and the other stuff hasn't caught up. Just like with anything else, if you update a game and your mods haven't caught up, it's kind of that same situation. You're going to have issues. Save, close this out. So now Stable Diffusion is ready to run. As long as you set everything up properly, you should be able to double click on this. It's going to tell you already up to date, and it's going to go through the install process. We'll find out if we hit a snag somewhere. If you didn't download the proper Python, then it's going to tell you that there's an error installing something down here and it has to do with Python. If that happens, delete the entire thing and start over. Once it goes through this setup process, it will automatically assign a path. And after you install the new Python, you can delete the old one, install a new one. There's a config file somewhere in this system that will no longer allow you to change the path unless you delete that file. So just back out of this, go back to your main thing right here, delete the entire folder, and install it all over again. That's what I recommend doing. So while this is installing, it takes a few minutes. We're going to move on to things you have to download. That is not the right page. This is the right page. All right, pretty much everything is done there. You can go and get the actual engine, the model that comes with this. There's plenty of models that they've come up with themselves. I've never had any good luck with that, so I don't do it. I don't run any of their models and stuff. They're right here, actually. So in the Stable Diffusion 1.5, you can go in here and download their models. There's also a 2.0 and a 2.1 version. You can download their models. Grab the ones that say Pickle. EMA only, so probably this one right here. 1.5 or the 2.1, you're going to grab the Pickle one and download that. And it's fine to do that if you want to test out your... you know what? Let's just grab it. We'll grab it. And you know what? We can probably grab the Stable Diffusion 2.0. The 2.1 version has two different ones. Am I on the wrong page? I am. Is it going to be in here? It's not. Where is it? Something that I forgot to mention whenever we were here talking about the lures and the textures is when you're using a 2.0, well, not all 2.0s, I guess, but specifically Illuminati, you have to actually put the InFixer and InRealFixer, NartFixer, you have to put those, either all of them, one of them, two of them, you need to put them in the negative prompt area. The negative prompt area is where those will take effect. So, prompts. My favorite place to get prompts is Prompt Hero. This is where I started. This is where I got my start with prompts. Really good place to start, but I didn't start with 2.0, Illuminati. I didn't start there. So I just came here. You can find one of these, grab a picture that you like, click on it. Prompt will pop up over here. It will tell you this was made for Diffusion 1.5. Sometimes it will tell you what the model is, what it's made off of. Sometimes it won't even give you the entire prompt. I'm sure this prompt did not make this entire photo. It's possible, but I highly doubt it. So we're going to go back to Illuminati. These here, you can get lucky, and usually, for instance, this one here, I already know this is in here. So off to the side right here, it tells you the entire thing, your negative prompts, your positive prompts. You just copy that, come over here, paste it. You can get rid of this page right here. All right, negative prompts, go in the negative prompts. Then you can delete where it says negative prompt. The rest of this information, it's going to be complicated. Obviously, this one was scaled up. So Illuminati works best in certain ranges. So you have to read stuff. 1000 by this. Typically for 1.5, and it's going to take practice, you're going to want to be in 512 or thereabouts, 720. I find that 768 is a really good one to do pictures in and stuff like that. But since we're doing the Illuminati one, let's see what this says. So this is upscaled. I don't see where it says upscaled though. So this is the upscaler, high res. By 2, this is 2560. Big one. Yeah, this is huge. So this might be upscaled. I may not get the same result first try. Bottom half is 1536. So we're at 1536. So 1280 by 768. We're gonna click off of that because I don't really want to do high res right now. But that's how you would make the image bigger. After you generate an image, if you want it to be bigger, you can make it bigger here. Steps at 20, this is your steps. So 20 is usually good. If you want a lot of detail, you can jack it up to 150. The seed, we can go ahead and do that since we're trying to basically replicate this image. Seeds go down here. Seeds will kind of make your image exactly like another image, or it's how you kind of structure images closer together. Euler A is one that is used a lot. I use these two a lot. LMS is okay. The other one I use a lot is this. If you want more cartoony, more digital art type stuff, I go with this, but these two here are good for not cartoony stuff. A lot of this other information, it's a lot of stuff that you're just gonna have to learn over time. We have denoising strength, this right here. This will change a lot whenever you high res, but we're not gonna high res right now, so we'll just leave it. There's the upscaler. Doesn't say how much to upscale though. Like I said, a lot of this information is not going to give you every little detail, but it will give you a decent amount. All right, so that's pretty much all we're going to get out of this one. Steps. I actually need the steps because so for Illuminati, it functions at much lower steps. So the scale at 2.5 and steps at 20. So the scale, it functions at a lot lower scale than the other ones do. So let's just click this and see what happens. Now, I guess I should have said this at the beginning of the video. If you don't have an 8 gig graphics card or higher, you're gonna have problems. This really is only for a little bit higher end computers. I'll put a disclaimer at the beginning because I guess that is quite important. All right, so we got our stormtrooper here. I don't know what that is. What did the original picture look like? Oh, 2 stormtroopers standing here. So because I didn't high-res it and stuff, the image isn't going to be exactly the same, but hey. So let's see, there was an error. Out of memory. So yeah, that is one thing about this, is it does require a lot of memory. So we can back down on the steps, or we can actually back down on the size. So let's jack this up to 3, because I want the image to be close. What is it supposed to be again? I forgot. 256 by 1536. 256 by 1536. 256. Wait, what? Shit, I forgot what it was already. If you're ever in doubt, you can always just copy it again. You can put in extras. You can put it in here, put it wherever. 2560 by 1536. So we're looking for 2560. 2568. 560. All right, so whenever you start getting into this kind of stuff, it gets a little bit more complicated. So we're gonna go 3, 4. What am I doing? I have bad memory. 2560. So we're not gonna be able to get right on. Close enough though. 1536. Perfect. 2562 by 1536. Let's go ahead and try it. Oh shit. You're not gonna be able to do the high res, obviously. If she can't do the high res with her 8 gig graphics card the other way, she's not gonna be able to do it this way. So. And that doesn't mean that you can't use Stable Diffusion. That just means that this particular 2.0 is not gonna work as well for you. It's gonna be a lot harder to do. So, depending on the size, depending on the steps and things like that, like this, these kind of details are going to change. The higher graphics you do, the better. Now, at the same time, a lot of it is going to be Illuminati being a 2.0 isn't going to give you as good of pictures. Well, I mean, it gives you good pictures, but you have to have a beefy computer. Like I'm running a 3090 Ti, and I do struggle with it as well. So obviously, she won't be able to get super high definition pictures out of this, but you're still going to have fun with Stable Diffusion. That's the 2.0 version. If we go back to, let's go to deliberate. And whenever you're done with stuff, whenever you're done playing around with whatever, and you want to start something new, you can just refresh. So, Illuminati was fun. You can go. Let's go over here and let's grab one that's going to be a little more, have a little more detail in it. Do this too. Let's go back. Let's go to Stable Diffusion. This will help narrow it down. This, perfect. We'll grab this one. So we'll copy this. Paste. That's only giving us the top part, so we got to go back to it and copy this manually. Copy. Paste. Go back. All right, so we got 150 steps and 9 scale. Perfect. Lots of detail. 9 scale. The higher you go on the scale, the more steps you have to take. It can be quite complicated. This one here also, I'm sure it doesn't say it. Just because of the type of image it is, you're going to have to go down here. Now, this is going to depend a lot on your, this here too. Dream Shaper may be better for this. We'll just have to wait and see. So let's see how it turns out. Also, I left it 512 by 512, which is not ideal for this. This is a taller image, so another good website is Aspect Ratio. Actually, it just popped up because I started typing wrong. I thought I saw it. Aspect ratio calculator. This right here is the bomb. If you need to know like what's going to be good whatever. 9, 16. Not the best of this stuff. The width, we want the width to be, well, no, we want the height to be 768. So 432 by 768. That should be good enough for that image. But look, I mean, straight off the bat, we just popped this in here and we got a phenomenal picture. Like a phenomenal picture. So we can also grab this and we can go high res, go up twice. This right here I like to bring down a little bit. Typically I run at about 5. And so we can take this image, which was made in 512 by 512, and we can actually res it up. And we should be able to do it, because this engine doesn't take a lot of RAM. It's possible when you start trying to res stuff into higher quality images, it could very well not work for you, but it depends on your computer. You have to have a pretty beefy computer. And the only reason I'm doing this is because that actually turned out to be a really good picture. I do like to try and stick with the different shapes and stuff. This image is pretty decent though, where it's her head and obviously down here and stuff like that, so it's good and in frame. But a lot of times if you try to produce an image like this that's not in that same type of frame, you get completely different results. Like not different, but like weird results. You can get some goofy stuff, extra legs, extra arms, 3 heads, 14 nipples, shit like that. Her graphics card may not be able to pull this off because I am doing this through Parsec. So her graphics card's already in use, streaming me this content. So she may be able to do this outside of that, but see, and the only reason this is actually capable of doing an image this good is because of those different engines stuff that you go for. If you use the original engine, I should show you after this. The original engine, the 1.5 that comes with Stable Diffusion, is so bad. Like it doesn't work for shit. It's so bad. Models, I should call them models. They're an engine. So it produces these images. Anytime now. That little timer that's on there doesn't mean shit. Doesn't work half the time. Too bad. After I do this, I want to go and install ControlNet. I should have already done that before we start messing around with this. But hey, this is my video. You don't like it, fuck off. Also be careful, based on the engine that you download, even the original engine, you can be producing images and stuff like that, and like for instance, you don't have certain words in the negative. If you put a word in the negative, that will try to not give you that in the thing. So safe for work, stuff like that, you want to put not safe for work in the negatives, that way you don't get any like nudies and stuff like that. You just want to be careful about that kind of stuff, especially if you got kids around and stuff like that. Because the engine really will just produce whatever it wants. The prompt that you're putting up here really is a recommendation on what it's going to produce. Man, this is taking forever. Her computer's doing a lot of work right now though, so it's probably just because of that. And like I said, you don't have to high res these. You can produce an image and then send it to extras, and in extras here, when the image pops up, you can put on the scalars. I usually do this like that, and then I'll leave it at 4, and that will increase your image by like 4, and it works really well doing that. You can get some really good images, higher quality ones that way too. This image though, if it actually produces, which I believe it will, but as long as it was taken, I do have my doubts. But if it does produce, it's gonna be a beautiful image. It's gonna be huge, but it's gonna be beautiful. Huge. It's 1024. The 1024. Perfect. It actually worked. There you go. Beautiful image. That just created an absolutely amazing image. Great quality. The face looks good. The entire picture looks good. It is a really good image. So, good job for the first try on this computer. I'm no expert at all this. I just kind of mess around with it. I'm not too bad at it. So, to find your folders and stuff like that, in your Stable Diffusion folder itself, that we put over here, if you click on here, this takes you to your main thing. Obviously, you start your Stable Diffusion down here with the web UI user. Your outputs are going to be in here, in outputs. Outputs. There it is. So all we have is the text images right now. And it's going to give them to you by date. So those are the ones that we just produced. The other way to do it is if you're in Stable Diffusion, you want to pop over to it real quickly. Just click it here. And then, of course, you have to pick it up. And that's going to take you straight into the outputs text to image because that's where we were. And that's where you're going to find these images. That's popping up on the other page. So that's great. All right. So to install the extension, you're going to click on extensions. The extension is ControlNet. That's something later on. It's more advanced, but I recommend installing it your first day. You're going to go over here. You're just going to grab this right here. Pretty sure that's not it. It's this one. You're going to grab this one. Copy. Back to Stable Diffusion. You're going to go install from URL. You're going to paste that right there. You're going to hit install. Like I said, this is definitely a more advanced type of thing, but it's worth installing when you first set it up. So it says it's installed. You do have to go and actually install it over here. You're going to hit apply. You're going to make sure all these are checked too. Available. Make sure we have everything. No, I think we have everything. There is other stuff. There's a pose one and stuff like that. There's more that you're going to want to get, but based on that page, we're getting that. I wonder... No, that's fine. Apply and restart. So now after you get the ControlNet, these things here, ControlNet, Canny, Depth, all this stuff, you're going to want to download all of these. All right, so we got that SkyCaptain file that we're going to want to pop in here. I'm going to have to look it up. I don't remember where to put... the hell is that? On the wrong shit. Looking on my computer. So you're just going to want to download all these. Now it's from Huggy Face. This is going to take a minute. This right here, this is actually going to take a while. So I'm pretty sure after you have these installed, you're going to put them in your extensions folder. In here. ControlNet. Models. I'm 95% sure this is where they go. These are YAML files. Let me look real quick. Yeah. So they're going to go in extensions, ControlNet, Stable Diffusion, Web UI, ControlNet, models. They're going to go into here whenever you actually get them installed or downloaded. They take a while. They're going to take a long while. After you have them installed, basically it's going to put the ControlNet down here at the bottom, and this is going to give you a lot of different stuff. There's a lot of different features and stuff that this will give you to help you produce better quality images. That is definitely a more advanced tutorial, and I am not the most comfortable with it yet, so that is something for a later date. But it is something worth installing when you first start this, because it is something that you will probably use. That's about it. So if you liked the video, please give it a like. Please give me a sub and a follow and all that fun stuff, and I'll do a better intro later. Peace out.